Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my review of the Legacy Tyrannosaurus Rex Zord from Power Rangers Mighty Morphin. I'm so used to saying like Power Rangers Ninja Steel, so I'm just gonna leave that because I think it's kind of funny. Anyway, so this is in the same line. This review is going to go amazing, guys. This is from the toy line, the Power Rangers Legacy line. Do you understand limes? Anyway, toy line, the same toy line as the Saber-Tooth Tiger Zord that I recently reviewed. The second one individually released, so we'll probably get all of them at some point, depending on how they sell. I think Mastodon has been confirmed, revealed. But anyway, this is a bit larger, as you can tell, and I think it is superior to my camera work. No, it's not. My camera work's better than this toy. No, that's too much. That was too much of a brag, and I'm sorry, but it's not even a brag. Wow, this review's amazing already. Anyway, I think it's superior to the Saber-Tooth Tiger, but I still don't think it's that great. To start off, we'll go over, here's the little figure it comes with, just like Yellow came with this little sort of weird Imaginext figure that the camera doesn't want to focus on because T-Rex is right there. There we go. But yeah, as you can see, it's pretty basic. Like, you know, it gets all the basic paint details, but it's not great looking. Like, the helmet looks like one of those bootleg toys again, and it's got little bits of articulation on it. I care so little about it, I'm not even caring about getting it to focus out of there. But yeah, it does bend here at the elbow, which is kind of interesting. But again, like I said in Saber-Tooth, I would rather them not include this and save whatever budget this gives them in working on the Zord. Like, if they could do a full package where this was a nice Zord and a cool little actual decent minifigure, sure, but I'd rather have the Zord be the main event, or just give me one of those little tiny figures that rests on top of there like the Thunder Zords had. But as you can see, it actually doesn't look that bad. Like, I think it looks better than Saber-Tooth. I think that it falls over like, that was weird, I don't know. But like the proportions on it I think are pretty good. You got a little bit more articulation options just because of the way he's designed. You can move his head up and down, you can move his mouth open. It's a little bit loose right here. You can sort of just tell by me using it like that, but you get a little bit of articulation here. You can see that the waist can move, his arms can move up and down, and his fists can turn. He can't move his little pincers though, like a lot of the other MMPR Tyrannosaurus Zords. He can move his legs back and forth, they bend here, a little bit movement here. The tail moves a little bit too, like right here, and there's another notch up here and one down here, but it's really weird. Like, it's so fixed down here, which is just a strange choice for me. Like, I think this should have been kind of like the Dragon Zord tail in the Legacy release, where it's all linked together and just gives you a nice range of motion, and yeah, and the detail is okay. It's kind of like when you get individual, the higher end, quote unquote, individual Zords in like the main Megazord line, where it hits all the points it needs to, but it misses some of the finer details, which usually doesn't bother me at all in something like the Ninja Steel Megazord, because that's like, this is a value Megazord, 20 bucks, the main point is the Megazord, but for something, again, that's being touted as a Legacy individual release, but it's kind of decent-ish. Like, you can see if this was painted well, it could actually be pretty neat. But my main problem with it, setting aside any, like, smaller details, is the gray plastic, yet again, is so cheap looking, and it just needs to have that more of a silver shine. Like, right up here, it almost looks like a slightly more well-done color, but that could be my imagination. But just a slightly better color, even a darker gray would make me happy. But it just makes it look so cheap. Again, it's like one step up from Imaginext. Like, I think this one's one step up from Imaginext, but some of the Imaginext ones are honestly better. It's a disappointment. And there was a lot of discussion about this outside of my video, but on my video as well, because in my last video I talked about how it would have been cool if they did it like Voltron, where they were all really nice and then combined. But also, I see the approach in wanting to have really well done individual Zords. But if you're gonna do that, make me want to buy it. Make it so awesome looking that I want an individual T-Rex, which I think is the one that most people would want individually, or make me want to have a full display of the core 5 Zords that are individually designed. But they you know, it's a half measure. It's half baked. This one I think is a little bit better, so if I had to recommend one of the two were out, I would recommend this one, but I still can't really recommend these. Like I said, setting aside the MMPR fatigue, which is a huge deal, instead of moving forward, we're literally rewinding. The thing is that this could have been cool. They could have made this a really awesome Zord that made me want to buy them individually and have an individual display, be it of them separately or as a team, but they didn't do that. it could have been so much more. But this one is a little bit better, and I do kind of like it in a sense, and I think it'll look better on display. But I still can't wholeheartedly recommend it because we're just going backwards and for something that's not all that great. And the bummer of it is this is marketed in the Legacy line, which is supposed to be the collector line. Like I mentioned in the previous review, just to repeat myself again, if this was just a regular line, like if this was part of the MMPR 2010 line, I would be grading it on a bit of a curve because it would be part of just the standard line, which could be for mainly kids but also collectors. But this is marketed as the collector's quote-unquote premium line, and this just isn't up to that name. Anyway, that's about it. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Dawson Rider, signing out.